Welcome to Economics 101, Principles of Microeconomics at Thomas More. This lecture is to introduce you to the course and give you an idea of what to expect in the weeks to come. As a quick outline, this lecture will cover what the purpose of the course is, the layout of the course and what to expect, and some tips for being successful in the course. First, the purpose of the course. This course is an introduction to how individual decision-making is done. Microeconomics is a study of individual decision-making, which means the study of how firms, households, and individuals make decisions and the outcomes of those decisions. But why study it? Well, for one, this is almost universally required in a business school education. A good understanding of the topics we will cover in the next 6 weeks is critical for doing well in future courses in economics and finance. You will be developing a toolkit of skills that will help you in many future courses. It's also a good idea to take a course like this to better understand the economic system you live in. How does a business choose its price? What can a business do to make the most profit? How does individual behavior change when incentives are made? These are all questions that can be tackled using the toolkit you will develop. The key idea of the course is to develop that toolkit and to develop a way of thinking about problems in the way an economist would think about those problems. Over the next 6 weeks, we will be covering 6 modules, each with a central theme. Our first is basic concepts of economics and an introduction to supply and demand. We will then develop that more in week 2 by exploring the concept of a market equilibrium and a new tool called elasticity. We go on in week 3 to further develop our toolkit by exploring other kinds of elasticity, welfare analysis, and an introduction to consumer theory. In week 4, we switch our attention from the consumer to the firm. We explored how costs, revenues, and profits are calculated, and then we explore the archetypal type of firm, the perfect competition, the type of firm that we will compare other types of competition to in the future. In week 5, we explore other kinds of competition, such as monopolies, oligopolies, and monopolistic competition. Finally, we wrap up the course with a topic on public economics. These are examples of when markets don't quite do what we would expect them to do, and the outcomes aren't what we expect them to be. In terms of expectations for the course, you should expect to spend about 21 hours per week on this course. That's broken down into roughly 7 hours of instructional time. That means videos, content engagement, practice, and quizzes. Much of that instructional time is comparable to what you might do in a face-to-face class. On top of that, you have roughly 14 hours per week of out-of-class time, including reading, homework, and preparing for your quizzes. So what are the major elements of the course? What can you expect to see? First of all, a lot of our instructional content will be in the form of videos. These are all from credible sources, well-known educators and economists that have been vetted, created, and produced by people all qualified to teach this course at the college level. You also have lots of practice. This is created by the course creator or the publisher of your textbook. The idea of practice is to more finely tune the skills that you're developing in the course. You also do several kinds of content engagement and discussion boards. This is meant to give you as close as possible to a face-to-face experience by engaging with your instructor, your classmates, and the material. You will also have several reading assignments. The reading assignments give you the opportunity to take a deep dive into topics. And that's where a course like this varies a little bit from a classroom course. In a classroom, usually you're expected to read first and then come to a lecture. In this case, this is flipped. We're doing the videos and instruction first, and then using the reading as an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper. Homework gives you the opportunity to apply these concepts to new situations and helps you further develop your understanding of the material. The quizzes are a form of assessment called summative assessments. These summarize your knowledge. These are like exams. They let you demonstrate that you know the material. So how can you be successful in the course? Well, here's some ideas to help you succeed. First, remember that this is likely a completely new topic to you. Everybody was a new learner of all material at some point. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Some of this material might be quite challenging. Embrace the challenge and get help when you need it. If you see a graph, you should practice drawing a graph. Economics uses graphical analysis quite heavily compared to many other courses. And sometimes it's tempting to see a graph and think, I could do that without actually doing that. So even when you feel like you're understanding what you're seeing, you need to practice doing it because creating is a quite different and quite necessary skill. Another tip is to take notes anytime you watch videos or read. I recommend an approach called WSKI. That means write, summarize, question, and example. So while you're watching a video, take notes, that's the writing. Once you've finished a video, summarize it to yourself in 2 or 3 sentences. Write down any questions you have following that video. And then finally, see if you can come up with an example of the concept presented in the video yourself. That's it. We'll see you in the course. Good luck.